Every new day presents us with an opportunity to shape our own experiences. We might not be able to control the external events, but we can decide how we will respond, think, and act. A morning routine enriched by thoughtful questions can guide the mind toward growth, resilience, and purposeful living. By asking ourselves a set of reflective questions right at the start, we create a compass that directs us toward meaningful actions, even when life throws challenges in our path. These questions are not complicated. In fact, they are profound precisely because they invite simplicity and clarity. They challenge us to pause and consider what truly matters, ensuring that each day is lived with greater awareness and intent. When you begin your morning with reflection, you lay the groundwork for a day guided by purpose instead of mere habit. Too often, we rush into the day, reacting to emails, notifications, and obligations without pausing to realign ourselves with our deeper values. This kind of reactive living can lead to feelings of aimlessness, stress, or dissatisfaction. By contrast, starting the day with purposeful questions injects meaning into even the most ordinary moments. The questions serve as mental anchors, drawing attention to gratitude, the pursuit of goals, and the quality of connections we foster with others. Over time, these daily reflections accumulate and reshape our mindset, supporting us in making choices that are more attuned to our aspirations. The questions themselves may seem straightforward, yet they resonate powerfully because of their simplicity. In a world overflowing with information and complexity, it can be surprisingly challenging to bring the focus back to what is genuinely important. We are constantly bombarded by tasks labeled urgent, when in truth, they might not be truly significant. By asking a question like, "What truly matters today?" we place our attention on goals that align with our values and have a long-term impact. This deliberate filtering of priorities helps us cultivate momentum toward the life we envision, instead of scattering our efforts on trivial concerns. The first question is about gratitude. Specifically, it prompts us to ask ourselves what we are sincerely thankful for each morning. Gratitude has a subtle but far-reaching effect on our mindset. It shifts our focus from what we perceive to be lacking toward what we already possess. When you tap into gratitude, you begin noticing the richness and abundance that surround you. This sense of appreciation can awaken a deeper awareness of how our relationships, resources, and abilities support us each day. By identifying these elements consciously, you prime your mind to operate with positivity and adaptability. The morning offers a quiet window in which to cultivate this sense of thankfulness before daily pressures begin to accumulate. Gratitude is not about ignoring difficulties. It does not ask you to pretend that everything is perfect. Instead, it invites you to hold the challenges and blessings together in your awareness. The invitation is to acknowledge that even when life is difficult, there may still be moments of warmth or connection, small opportunities to learn, or people in our corner who make the load more bearable. When you consistently practice gratitude, you also train yourself to see possibilities where you might otherwise see only limitations. This mindset, anchored in abundance rather than scarcity, shapes how you approach hurdles. You're more likely to look for creative solutions and remain patient under pressure. In a broader sense, the act of recognizing what you're grateful for nurtures resilience. When adversity does strike, you have a reservoir of positive memories and experiences to reflect on, reminding yourself that obstacles can be faced. This reservoir is like an emotional and mental toolkit that you develop through simple, consistent recognition of the good in your life. Some people prefer to write these observations in a journal, while others may reflect quietly for a minute or two each morning. The important part is the regularity of the practice, for it is in repetition that deep transformations occur. Gratitude also has a social dimension. When you habitually notice the support and kindness given by friends, family, or colleagues, your relationships naturally deepen. You start to acknowledge their contributions more openly, creating an atmosphere of mutual respect and empathy. Over time, this fosters stronger connections and a sense of communal growth. Moreover, expressing gratitude to others can be just as powerful as feeling it internally. A small note or gesture to someone who positively impacts your life can reinforce bonds and bring unexpected joy to both of you. The second question guides us to ask, what is the most important thing I need to accomplish today? Although it appears elementary, it addresses a common struggle: being busy without being truly productive. Our days are often filled with to-do lists, calls, and seemingly urgent tasks. Yet, at the end of it all, we might wonder if we've advanced toward our key goals. Identifying the most crucial task each morning helps cut through this fog. It allows you to pinpoint the single objective that, if achieved, gives you a sense of progress and fulfillment. This question is the antidote to drifting through a day, keeping your time and energy locked onto what yields the greatest impact. This focus is deeply empowering. When you take the time to select and commit to your primary target, you reduce the mental clutter that arises from juggling multiple priorities at once. Rather than scattering your energies, you direct them purposefully. This does not mean you ignore all other tasks. It simply ensures you stay anchored. If the day becomes chaotic, you can return to this central goal and reorient yourself. You can say, even if I manage nothing else, I will get this done. Completing that essential task then becomes the day's milestone, providing a sense of accomplishment that fuels ongoing motivation. In many cases, the most important task is also the one you might naturally avoid. Perhaps it is complex, time-consuming, or somewhat uncomfortable. By asking yourself this question first thing in the morning, you have the psychological advantage of tackling the challenge before procrastination tools in. Our willpower and mental clarity are often strongest early in the day, so channeling that toward a high-priority goal can lead to better outcomes. This habit also helps in building personal discipline, as you repeatedly confirm that you can handle discomfort for the sake of growth or meaningful results. Moreover, this clarity around priorities extends beyond the workplace. If your most important daily action revolves around family, health, or personal development, it is still essential to identify it explicitly. You reinforce that your life is not dictated solely by professional tasks, but by a broader set of values. This holistic approach helps maintain balance. It ensures you pay attention to relationships, mental well-being, or physical health that might otherwise be sidelined by the constant pressure to achieve professional success. The third question asks, how do I want to show up for others today? While the first two questions are often self-focused, on gratitude for personal benefit and the tasks that matter to you, this question broadens the lens to consider our social and emotional impact. Each day offers countless interactions, both large and small, with colleagues, friends, family members, or even strangers. These interactions shape our relationships and can have profound consequences for how we feel about ourselves and how others perceive us. By reflecting each morning on how you want to present yourself, you prime your mind to approach these interactions with empathy, kindness, and presence. Our attitude toward others can enrich or diminish our shared experiences. If you decide to show up with understanding and support, you create an environment that fosters trust and collaboration. Rather than letting stress or personal anxieties steer your responses, you respond from a place of intention. This might mean actively listening to someone who needs to talk, offering a helping hand at work, or simply greeting people with genuine warmth. Small gestures accumulate. The difference they make in the texture of daily life is surprisingly significant. Intentionality in relationships also encourages better emotional self-regulation. If you know you want to show up with patience, you become more aware of when anger or impatience begins to stir. You notice the gap between your desired behavior and your actual feelings, giving yourself a chance to pause and recenter. Over time, this self-awareness fosters maturity. You learn to approach conflicts and disagreements more mindfully, aiming for resolution rather than emotional escalation. This practice of showing up is not about perfection or forced positivity. It's about consistently aligning your actions with the qualities you value, even when challenges arise. Furthermore, focusing on how you want to show up for others each day keeps you attuned to the needs of your community. Sometimes we get stuck in our own heads, wrestling with our personal frustrations and forgetting that we are also part of a broader network. By asking this question, we expand our perspective. We recognize that our presence, energy, and mood can either uplift the people around us or contribute to negativity. Consciously choosing the former creates a ripple effect, as others may in turn be inspired to offer support and kindness. The fourth question prompts, what challenges might I face today, and how can I handle them? This is where the principle of anticipation meets resilience. Life is rarely smooth, and it's helpful to admit that difficulties, big or small, are bound to happen. By identifying these potential stumbling blocks in the morning, you take proactive ownership of your day. Instead of being blindsided, you mentally rehearse constructive ways to manage stressors or setbacks. This could involve anything from scheduling conflicts at work, disagreements with a loved one, or unexpected tasks that threaten to derail your focus. Anticipating challenges is not the same as dwelling on them. The difference lies in the mindset you adopt. Anticipation is about preparedness, while dwelling is about rumination and fear. By clarifying how you might address likely hurdles, you disarm the anxiety that arises from the unknown. It's as if you're telling yourself, I see you, challenge, and I'm ready to respond effectively. This approach improves confidence, as you've already rehearsed, at least mentally, how you will navigate the issue. This question also encourages creative problem solving. When you reflect on potential obstacles, you might begin generating possible solutions or alternative routes. You become open to seeking help from people who might have expertise or resources that you lack. If you anticipate a difficult conversation, for example, you can prepare by clarifying your main points, practicing your tone of voice, or deciding in advance to listen actively to the other person's perspective. Such preparation can prevent misunderstandings and keep you calmer when the real moment arrives. Another benefit is that by foreseeing difficulties, you can budget your time and energy more wisely. If you know that a certain project or appointment will be demanding, you can schedule less critical tasks for other parts of the day, ensuring you have the mental space to deal with the bigger challenge. This thoughtful allocation of resources reduces the likelihood of burnout and helps you maintain consistent performance throughout the day. Over time, living with this level of preparedness trains the mind to handle new or unforeseen complications with greater composure. The fifth question centers on growth. What can I learn or improve today? A hallmark of anyone committed to personal development is the recognition that every day offers a chance to expand our abilities. Whether it's at work, in relationships, or in self-awareness, there is always some aspect of life where growth is possible. This question shifts the focus from static accomplishment to dynamic evolution. It says that no matter how skilled or knowledgeable you are, there's more to discover, more to refine, and more to understand. This orientation toward continuous learning fosters humility. It acknowledges that nobody ever arrives at an endpoint of mastery. Rather, we evolve incrementally. You remain curious about the world and about yourself, seeking insights that can refine your abilities and perspective. This might involve enhancing a technical skill related to your job, practicing better communication techniques with loved ones, or learning to manage your own emotions more effectively. By embedding this question into your morning routine, you invite the mindset that each day is an opportunity to grow. Moreover, this focus on learning nurtures resilience. People who see mistakes as learning opportunities rarely waste energy on self-reproach. Instead, they capitalize on what went wrong, extracting lessons and strategies they can apply going forward. Life becomes a continual feedback loop, where even failures carry seeds of wisdom. Embracing the idea that you can always improve helps eradicate a rigid fear of failure or imperfection. You accept that everything, from a minor error at work to a major life challenge, can be fuel for growth if approached thoughtfully. This question also broadens your horizon by prompting you to look beyond immediate tasks. Perhaps you've been thinking about learning a new language, or improving your public speaking skills, or developing a healthier routine. By regularly reminding yourself that there's something to learn each day, you are more likely to schedule or prioritize time for these endeavors. The cumulative effect of these small daily efforts can be astonishing, transforming you gradually into the person you aspire to be. The sixth question invites you to align with your larger vision. What am I doing today to move closer to my long-term goals? Many of us hold dreams of what we want in the future: a fulfilling career, better health, deeper relationships, or creative achievements. Yet these dreams sometimes remain distant because we do not tie them to consistent daily action. This question acts as a bridge between aspiration and execution. It compels you to link your present routine to the broader story you're striving to create. Long-term goals often seem daunting precisely because of their scale. By breaking them down into manageable steps that you can tackle daily, you transform an abstract ambition into a tangible process. This serves not only to demystify the goal, but to motivate you, as each small action confirms that you are on your way. Some days, that action might be as modest as making a phone call, writing a paragraph in a long-term project, or saving a small amount of money toward a bigger plan. Other days, it could be as significant as completing a major milestone. Regardless, the key is consistent progress. Consistency is at the heart of turning intentions into reality. Even if you invest only 15 or 30 minutes a day in something that matters deeply to you, over weeks, months, and years, that investment accumulates into tangible growth. Often people wait for a perfect moment or a large block of time to focus on their goals. But But the reality is that we seldom find the perfect time. By thinking every morning about how you can advance your aspirations, you build them into the fabric of your daily life. This transforms them from distant dreams into an ongoing journey that shapes your identity. Keeping your attention on long-term goals also helps you resist distractions. Modern life is saturated with temptations. Social media, streaming services, endless trivial tasks that can easily devour your hours. This morning question acts like a filter, reminding you to allocate at least a portion of your day to something that truly matters in the grand scheme of your life. Thus, you become an active participant in your own destiny, rather than a passive observer of fleeting tasks. The seventh question emphasizes meaning. How can I make today meaningful, no matter what happens? This question recognizes that external events may be unpredictable and sometimes downright difficult. Yet, it reminds us that the sense of meaning in a day does not have to rely on everything going perfectly. We can create meaning through deliberate choices. How we engage with others, how we handle hardships, how we tune our mindset. Meaning is a lens we apply to the day, not a condition we passively hope to encounter. One powerful way to make a day meaningful is through intentional acts of kindness. Whether it's offering heartfelt support to a friend, volunteering for a cause, or simply sharing genuine encouragement with a colleague. These gestures infuse the routine fabric of life with warmth. They remind us that we are connected and that our presence can be a source of positivity. Even if other aspects of the day feel chaotic, knowing you've acted with compassion can anchor your sense of worth and purpose. Another avenue to meaning is creative engagement. Some find deep fulfillment in writing, art, music, or problem-solving activities that allow them to express themselves. Even if these pursuits don't yield immediate success or recognition, the very act of immersing yourself wholeheartedly in creation or exploration can bring satisfaction. By dedicating a portion of your day to something that lights you up, you confirm that life is not purely about responsibilities and deadlines. It also includes your passions and curiosities. This question also encourages an acceptance of imperfection. If you decide that your day will be meaningful regardless of obstacles, you become more flexible and less threatened by setbacks. A canceled plan or an unexpected problem no longer ruins everything. Instead, it becomes part of the rich tapestry of experiences. You learn to adapt, to find small pockets of joy or reflection, even when the situation isn't ideal. This ability to harvest meaning from chaos is a testament to emotional resilience. As you can see, each of these 7 questions touches on a different pillar of intentional living. Gratitude, focus, relational presence, resilience, growth, alignment with long-term vision, and the conscious creation of meaning. The power of this routine does not hinge on answering each question perfectly, nor does it require a large time investment. Even a few minutes of sincere reflection can recalibrate your thoughts and attitudes, setting a tone of purpose and optimism for the entire day. When you practice this consistently, day after day, the accumulative effect is transformative. You are training your brain to look for positivity, to home in on what really matters, to be present for others, and to treat setbacks as challenges you can overcome. You also strengthen your sense of agency, realizing that you can influence the unfolding narrative of your life rather than remaining at the mercy of external pressures. In essence, you become the author of your daily experiences, consciously crafting a life that resonates with your core values and aspirations. Some people find it helpful to write down answers to these questions in a journal. Others prefer to speak the questions out loud as affirmations, while still others simply contemplate them quietly over a cup of coffee. The method isn't as crucial as the mindset. The key is consistency, sincerity, and willingness to reflect. These questions are most effective when you genuinely pause to consider your answers, rather than rushing through them as yet another morning chore. If at first you find yourself struggling to articulate responses, that's arise. With practice, you will discover that clarity emerges more quickly, and the process becomes a cherished daily ritual. It's also beneficial to periodically review how these reflections influence your actual behavior throughout the day. Do you notice yourself becoming more patient when conflicts arise? Are you more deliberate in choosing the most important task to work on first? Have you begun to recognize new learning opportunities in unexpected places? Observing these shifts can bolster your motivation to keep using the questions. They also offer a mirror in which you can see your growth over time, reminding you that self-improvement is an evolving journey rather than a one-time fix. Over weeks and months, you might adjust or expand the questions to match your evolving priorities. For instance, if you notice you're struggling with self-compassion, you might add a query like, how can I treat myself more kindly today? Or if you're exploring creativity, you could incorporate a question along the lines of, how will I nurture my creative spark today? The 7 questions can serve as a foundation, but feel free to personalize or revise them to reflect the unique dimensions of your life. The underlying principle remains the same. By starting each day with purposeful inquiry, you steer your mind toward growth, gratitude, and meaningful action. One of the hidden gifts of this morning reflection is the sense of calm it can bring. When you wake up and immediately plunge into busyness, stress hormones may spike, and you might feel that you're constantly playing catch-up. Giving yourself the space to think, plan, and orient your mind can act as an emotional buffer, allowing you to step into your responsibilities with a level head. This initial grounding can improve your interactions, reduce impulsive reactions, and foster a more centered approach to problem solving throughout the day. Moreover, these questions often reveal the connection between the inner world, our thoughts, emotions, values, and the outer world, our behaviors, relationships, achievements. When you ask yourself about your goals, your gratitude, or how you plan to face adversity, you are acknowledging that the external outcomes in your life are intimately linked to your internal stance. This recognition can be empowering because it highlights where you do have control. You might not be able to dictate market conditions, the weather, or another person's mood, but you can decide how to prepare, respond, and adapt. In a broader sense, cultivating this reflective practice can also have a ripple effect on your well-being. Many find that a regular habit of morning introspection reduces anxiety, improves mood, and heightens overall life satisfaction. By systematically considering what you're grateful for, what you want to learn, and how you wish to treat others, you embed positive emotional cues into your subconscious. You walk into the day a little more open-hearted, a bit more determined, and potentially more ready to savor life's small beauties and lessons. This is far from a quick fix. Rather, it's a gentle but potent shift in how you approach each sunrise. Though it helps to be consistent, it is inevitable that life circumstances will sometimes disrupt your routine. On certain days, you may oversleep or have an early obligation that prevents this reflection. At times, you might be traveling, ill, or in a mental state that makes focused thought more difficult. Recognize that these ups and downs are part of any long-term practice. The important thing is to return to the questions as soon as you can. Each day is a fresh start, a new chapter where you can realign yourself without judging yesterday's slip. If you ever feel that the exercise becomes rote or shallow, try varying your approach. You might write detailed responses in a journal or discuss them with a mentor or accountability partner. Another strategy is to connect each question to specific examples or intentions for the day. For instance, when identifying your most important task, explicitly state what it is and why it matters. This extra clarity can reignite the significance of the routine and keep it from becoming mechanical. The questions themselves are guides, but their real power is unlocked when you engage them with sincerity and curiosity. As the weeks roll on, you will likely notice changes not only in how you spend your days, but also in your deeper sense of identity. Answering these questions can shift self-perception. You begin to see yourself as someone who is actively steering life's course, rather than passively drifting. This subtle change in self-image can have profound implications. It might make you more confident when taking on new challenges, more open to forging new relationships, or even more forgiving of your own mistakes and frailties. Essentially, you grow into a person who embodies the values you hold dear. The essence of this practice is that small, deliberate steps create lasting transformation. Large goals and visions become reachable when divided into daily commitments that feel accessible and practical. Each morning question stands as a gentle reminder that the grand arc of your life story is written in the details of how you live each day. By nurturing gratitude, setting priorities, showing up for others, preparing for difficulties, cultivating growth, moving toward your long-term aims, and choosing to find meaning, you continuously refine the life you inhabit. Some days, your answers might flow easily, radiating optimism and clarity. Other days, you might struggle to articulate a single thought that feels right. Both experiences are valuable. The easy days help build momentum and excitement, while the challenging days remind you of your resilience and spark deeper introspection. Over time, this ebb and flow trains you to be at peace with the evolving nature of life. You understand that not every moment will be glowing with inspiration, yet every moment can still teach you something if you remain open and conscious. Remember, too, that these questions are not meant to induce pressure or guilt. They are intended to be liberating, offering you a blueprint for mindful living. If at any point they begin to feel like a burden, it can help to revisit why you chose this practice in the first place. Perhaps you sought greater fulfillment, more aligned actions, or more meaningful connections. Reminding yourself of your original motivation can reignite your dedication to the habit. And if you find that certain questions are causing stress or no longer serve your current goals, feel free to adapt them. Your morning reflection is yours to shape. Ultimately, weaving these questions into your morning routine fosters a lifestyle of conscious action rather than passive existence. You become more present in your relationships, more strategic in your tasks, more resilient in difficulties, and more intentional in how you evolve. From this vantage point, success and fulfillment are no longer abstract ideals or random events. They emerge naturally from your daily mindset and behaviors. Each question acknowledges that every new sunrise is a canvas. You decide which colors to paint with: gratitude, determination, empathy, curiosity, perseverance, or purpose. You decide how vibrant or subdued those colors will be. While external circumstances can present any number of challenges, the way you respond is always within your sphere of influence. The consistent practice of these reflections fortifies that sense of self-determination and optimism. Life is a series of moments, and how we orient ourselves each morning shapes how we experience those moments. By dedicating even a small fraction of time to introspection, you carry a guiding light throughout the day. It's a sign to your subconscious mind that you intend to live deliberately, rather than stumbling blindly through routines. Over time, this intention seeps into everything you do, from how you handle a stressful situation at work to how you greet a friend in need. You live with a sense of continuity and coherence, knowing that each moment is part of a bigger narrative you have actively chosen. In the end, the true power of these questions lies not in the words themselves, but in the mindset they engender. When asked sincerely, they gently redirect your mental focus. They remind you that gratitude is a lens, priorities are key, relationships are essential, obstacles are surmountable, growth is continuous, goals are reachable, and meaning can be created in any circumstance. They are an invitation to spend each day in alignment with your deeper aspirations, forging a path that feels purposeful and fulfilling. Every morning you stand at a threshold, deciding how you will engage with the hours ahead. By bringing these questions into that moment of decision, you equip yourself with clarity, motivation, and empathy. You cultivate an environment where personal growth is expected. Challenges are faced head-on, and meaningful connections flourish. This consistent, mindful approach to daily living has the power to transform not just your mornings, but your entire life trajectory.